The Jesster Radio Podcast.
What's happening, guys? Welcome to another episode of Jesster Radio. Thank you for tuning in. This episode is sponsored by Gasoline. As you can see, another sponsored episode, third sponsored episode ever, so that's pretty dope. Thanks Gasoline Denim for the best tight fit jeans and oversized tees. Asad, you've got a few Gasoline items there.
Yeah, I've got two pairs of the jeans, the blue and the black. Probably one of the best fitting jeans I've found in South Africa, definitely. So it's definitely a good brand. You guys should definitely check it out. And they make oversized tees, like Jesse said. So all the gym goers, when I had the quarantine body as well, oversized tees is the new style too. So
this one's actually supposed to be oversized, but it's actually not.
for Jesse, it fits in perfectly.
I thought I was smaller than what I was, so I was happy because I got a large, and I thought a large is going to be oversized, but it actually wasn't.
They gave me a large as well, and I'm like, I need to tuck things in.
I think it's maybe just because I'm taller, so it's not tight. It's just obviously I need to be a bit shrunken down for it to be oversized. But I'm sure they've definitely got extra larges. So
shout out to Gasoline, make it extra large for a guy named Jesse.
Yeah, so if you guys are about my size, maybe 90 kilograms, grab yourself an extra large and it's going to be an oversized tee.
22-inch arms. Yeah.
I wish. So today, bro, the reason we're on and the reason I wanted to get you on is because you, just as myself, is obviously we've made businesses off social media and we've, obviously marketed ourselves through social media. So, bro, you don't want to work in an office.
Bro, last thing I want to do, I said to myself, and I guess if you're young especially, it's difficult because you got parents obviously, and they don't know anything about social media. They don't know you can make money through social media. So the first thing a parent says to you is go to school, get a degree, go and work in an office, and you work a 9-to-5 job, and if you hate every minute of it, can you imagine how many days of your life you're going to actually hate? And that's when you and I still met in varsity, we were like, bro, we can't go the normal route, it's just not us. Yeah. And that's when we saw social media and we started experimenting with ways to create an audience where people can learn from you, but also start buying and purchasing products or programs from you at a high service. So how long have you been you started first?
I probably started selling programs and those kind of things and making money off social media. I think it was second year, so I think it was 2016, I think was like the actual time where I started, like every month.
And I think at that stage in South Africa, it was still very foreign to most people to sell anything through social media. Mind you, this is not like paid promotions where you become an influencer. It's completely different to that. It's where you actually develop a product and a service that people actually want to buy. Yeah. And I think when you jumped into the market, you were one of the very few that were testing out social media and making money through social media.
Bro, I think I got in at the right time because now if I think about my online training, I make a third of the amount of money now than when I started.
When you started.
I think it's also because, my followers haven't been growing super, super fast and very quickly. And, obviously initially when I started selling the plans, maybe people were like, yo, Jesse's selling plans. Let me hop on and let me get it now. And then, now it's kind of like my followers aren't really increasing because this Instagram algorithm's whack.
I remember that the algorithm, myself and Jesse had a very easy strategy at the beginning. We were just like, give value and just post every day. And do you remember how many followers you just get doing nothing, just posting regularly?
We went to Zimbabwe, it was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And we said, okay, we're just going to post like 3 times a day. We did that. We got 1,000 followers in a week.
In a week, exactly. And then all of a sudden the algorithm changed, and then the first people that suffered were the people that were taking, the typical selfie in the mirror or showing your abs and that's it, but giving no value in terms of content to people. Those are the guys that suffered first, because when the algorithm changed, all of a sudden no one was getting I was losing followers more than anything else. You could go into the insights and check out how many followers you got a week, and then it would show me like 150 followed, and I look at the unfollowers like 220, and I'm like, geez,
going backwards.
Exactly. And you're posting more, you're thinking more about your content now. So I think the first thing, especially now, growing any type of, you could say, not even fan base, just people that want to see what you're posting. And if you want people to actually buy stuff from you, the first thing you need to start realizing is people are not going to follow you if you're not giving them any value.
Yeah.
At the beginning, it was super easy to post a shredded photo of you. The famous one was having like pizza at abs.
Yeah.
Everyone just loved that because I think it was the lifestyle, but also still looking good. And as time's gone by, like I look at those posts we used to post, and now those are like honestly one of the worst posts with engagement because you're giving nothing back.
Yeah. No one, everyone's just liking it because you're abs, but no one's actually gaining anything from it.
Yeah. And I think that's the first thing. If you focus so much on likes for a photo and not so much on the engagement, if you want to sell something through social media, you will never be able to do that. I always look at like the goals, and I mean, okay, I guess there's guys as well, but it's easier to use a girl as a reference. You know, they post a booty picture and they get like 1,000, 2,000 likes for a photo because it's their bum. But then you look at the credibility of a person, nowhere, and no one wants to buy the plan. Or
bro, what do you think about all these girls now? You know, because it's literally a thing. If you want to make it on social media, it's all you need to do is post a photo of your bum.
Of your bum, exactly. And I always say, like, you got 2,000 likes, that's great. Try and sell something afterwards and see how many people are actually going to buy your stuff. Or even, lots of girls are like, we should start an OnlyFans page. And I'm just like, you do that now, and in 5 years' time, your credibility is nowhere. No one wants to buy anything from you because they take you as a joke, literally as a joke. So, when I think people need to start realizing that it's more than just posting. And another thing, now we're on the subject of girls putting their bum out and stuff. From being on social media a bit more active now, because you literally have nothing else to do, I see a lot of people posting things about themselves, and then you look at someone's profile and you're like, is it helping someone else lose weight or gain muscle, or is it just a diary of yourself and putting yourself in the best light? And I think the most engaging posts I've got is where I speak more truth than anything else, and I don't just take the photo of my abs and like shredded in lockdown or whatever it is, but when you show value and you show that you also go through things that others are going through, I think those are the posts that do a lot better and get more engagement, and that's when people can see the kind of the credibility and validity behind your posts. And
well,
the
people
brand
want
itself.
something tangible. They want something that's achievable, and they want to follow your process. They don't want to just see the end product.
Exactly.
They don't want to just see your got super lean. You know, they want to see the struggles that you went through and the daily struggles and the choices of, I really feel like a pizza today, but I actually can't have one. If I want to see these goals, they want to see out this, this outcome, I have to be disciplined, and I think sharing those along the way will get more value.
Exactly.
However,
definitely.
I still feel like no matter how much I do that now, my social media is still not growing.
It's still not growing. See, I remember obviously when you were prepping for your last show, I think you said you got a few clients during that time, and I think it was because you were showing your process of how you went from bulking to get to a specific size and then cutting down to keep as much muscle as you could. But I think people started following you because of the process, and that's when they kind of can relate in a way with how their life is going with yours. And I think that's how you develop a personal connection. And from there, I think the easiest way to sell something to someone is when they can relate to you on their level, and you can kind of, share similar interests. So I think even with me, from posting just photos of myself, I've literally had to take a step back and try and think of a new way and a new strategy to try and grow a bit more and stand out more than anything else, because I don't know if you've seen, but since lockdown, how many new fitness trainers are there in the world now?
Yeah. And everyone's doing a live workout, and everyone's got a group together.
Everyone's sharing their workouts, everyone's sharing this, or engagement groups, so now all of a sudden you get like 50,000 people commenting on a photo, whatever it is. And I mean, that's great. You're trying to beat the algorithm through Instagram or through any social media platform, but the thing is, you can have 50 guys that follow you that know nothing about you, that don't care about you, and then when you try and sell a program, I experienced it myself. I grew a following, and I thought, cool, I got a following, I'm going to sell so much things. And I looked again, I was like, 1% of the people that followed me actually bought my stuff.
I think it's also because of, the people that relate to you are maybe younger.
Yeah.
So maybe, let's say, 14 to 22. And those people maybe can't afford the luxury of buying a trading plan and everything. And that is the difficulty of, marketing yourself to a younger audience. Is, the difficulty of knowing that they're not going to be able to actually afford it themselves. Their parents are giving them, tuck money or whatever, and they buying drinks on the weekend.
Exactly. So that's another thing I think for anyone that's trying to start now is, before you even start, it's trying to decide who your target market is and knowing what they use in terms of social media, what platforms they're on, and what content is going to engage that specific audience. Because like I said, you can post a picture of abs with pizza and you could be getting more attention from the age group of 13 to 17. But none of those guys are purchasing your plans because they don't have the cash to do that, or their parents don't believe in online training at all. And so then you're creating awareness for a post for the wrong audience, and then in the long term it's doing absolutely nothing for the brand. So the one thing I've done, or I've had to do, is take a step back and see what it is that a specific group of audience that I'm trying to attract is looking for, and then from there decide on what content I'm going to start producing according to what isn't out there for people to see, instead of the typical, oh, I woke up shredded today, let me take a photo and show my abs, you know. So it's more than just a personal thing now. You got to try and think of ways to attract more people by giving them value more than anything else.
What have you done to try, bring more value?
I've had to, like I said, not do the whole selfie anymore. I see a big thing now, especially on Instagram, is the whole carousel thing where you can do swipes, and there's benefits of having people on your page for longer and giving them more value. So I've started doing more like, it's like literally the basic things. If you tell someone, yeah, I eat 6 meals a day, what do you eat? And someone asks you what your diet is, whatever. You literally just take 6 meals a day, put it into a little PDF or Canva post with swipe series so people can see kind of what you're eating and give value back that way. So in a way, you're giving them value, but I think people are so hesitant because it's not showing them in the best light.
Yeah.
They're so used to posting a selfie of themselves instead of trying to look at ways to give back to people and kind of help them before. And I think that's what's going to develop that relationship at the beginning and show people that you are educated in a specific topic. And once they see authority before anything else, they'll start buying things.
I think that's also what people's mindsets need to change. Is when I've done it myself, is I look at someone and I'm saying, how do they have so many followers? How are they, doing well on social media? They look awful. It's not because they look good that they're doing well. It's because they are real and they are themselves.
Exactly. And a great example is that James Smith PT guy.
Yeah.
He's just real. He talks about things that
he doesn't have a good body, but he's honest and he's knowledgeable.
Exactly. When they can, especially on social media, anyone can just copy and paste something and put it into a profile. You start doing things differently. So I see with him, he does a lot of video. If you can start doing a lot more video content, people can develop that personal relationship first of all, but then they really get to see the type of person you are. And it's not just, okay, I'm behind a computer, I'm just copying and pasting something onto the thing and then creating a post. When you actually speak through video and people see what's going on, I think that you develop a better relationship with the audience. Even if they don't know you, they can watch one of your videos and know exactly what type of person you are. And I see from like him himself, he does a lot more engaging content where he speaks about a topic, and he doesn't do the whole, these are the 5 exercises to get the best abs.
He's funny.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's got a personality as well, which is what I think people should show.
Yeah.
That's how you're going to stand out. You're not going to, you can't be like the other 5,000 people in America that are all influencers that are selling programs in South Africa, because the market just isn't there.
Yeah.
So you need to be yourself and try and relate that to the type of market you're trying to attract. And in South Africa, it's completely different to overseas.
Yeah, and speaking of types of markets, you obviously, let's say you and I both have different markets.
Yeah.
How did you, go about establishing your own little niche market?
That was a big thing for me. I guess when I did transform kind of my lifestyle, went the whole vegan route, I saw that there was a lot of people that were very unsure of that lifestyle, and I thought, okay, well, I'm doing this. If I become a bit more educated, I can start helping people at least in that. That kind of got me to separate myself from a lot more people, and then from there I saw what worked and what didn't work, and then started developing my own little niche. But I generally think in the fitness industry in South Africa, the way people see things, they think you got to be better than someone else. You can't work together and both grow your client base at the same time. And there's so many people that are out of shape, that need to lose weight, that want to lose weight. And if you come together and kind of help one another out to all get clients, I generally think there's more than enough clients for everyone.
Yeah. But I mean, bro, let's say I have you on my podcast now. You have now, let's say, I know I've got a few people that follow me that are vegan.
Yeah.
If they hear what you have to say, they're going to go to you. They might have previously purchased a plan from me. They didn't enjoy what I did.
Yeah,
but there are other people that do enjoy what I do. But now someone goes to you and they enjoy what you do and the way you do it.
Or vice versa. Someone wants to prep for a new show and he wants to do men's muscular physique or even classic physique, and he's seen what you've achieved, and all of a sudden it's not even like you're stealing clients because you're not helping that specific client.
Yeah.
I can get 3 that come work with you, you can get 5 from your side that want to work with me, and I generally think that it's just about sharing knowledge with each other, and that's how you can attract and get a lot more people kind of interested in what you're doing, and growing your brand that way.
Well, definitely, if you even obviously the YouTubers, overseas, they do all these collaborations, everything.
Exactly.
They all of them each have their own merch that they sell. All of them each have their own whatever that they sell, their clothing lines, and they still interact with each other, and they're not scared or hesitant to do a video with each other.
I see, and a big example is like even with just the Jake Pauls and like Logan Paul, they got a group of people living in a house. They all shoot their own little pieces of content for their own personal brands, but together as a whole they're doing a lot more. Instead of if they were single guys doing their own thing, one man, together they've achieved a lot more and in a shorter space of time, which is the biggest thing. If anything, you're trying to get on top of things and develop a platform for yourself as quickly as possible before, because you've seen, and now we've spoken over time, how the market has just become so saturated. Even with the Instagram, how posts are not doing as well as they used to. But because everyone is doing the same thing now. So you got to find a way to either develop and influence as quickly as possible or stand out completely so that you're always winning in terms of content and knowledge.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've obviously also you made the change to TikTok. Well, not the change, but you also the addition to TikTok to your social media arsenal. And that algorithm's a lot easier to grow.
It's generally the easiest way to grow. You could literally just post yourself eating breakfast every day, but the potential of growth and people that can see your posts, anyone can see it. No one has to. How
many followers are you on TikTok now?
I got it's like 14,000.
Okay, and is that how much on Instagram? 15.
Yeah.
So I mean, TikTok in about like
half
3 months.
Exactly. Kind of taken over. So I see. I think another thing is, and Gary Vee speaks about it often, is don't just focus on one thing. Like you say, Instagram was doing so well, and 2 years later, you're losing followers more than anything else. So you need to find other things that are also in the spotlight now, so that you have more than one influence on different platforms.
Yeah.
So like YouTube for me is by far one of the easiest ways. If people want to put in the time and the effort, it's very similar to that algorithm of TikTok, where if you put a video out, anyone can see that. It's just, I guess, people don't want to put in the effort and the time of editing and posting content that's professional content, but it's generally the same.
Yeah. Longer
forms of video where you can show your personality and show why you stand out. And I don't think a lot of people in South Africa, especially, are using the whole YouTube route. But I don't know. I'm generally not sure why.
I think South Africa generally, maybe people are lazier, and it's a lot of effort. And there's car YouTube channels in South Africa, there's boxing, whatever, but there's not really fitness orientated, just fitness.
If I'm like, if I couldn't even think of 5 fitness channels.
Because we know the top 5, Instagram people in South Africa in fitness, but we don't know the YouTubers.
YouTubers not so much.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe South Africa will eventually get to that American level where you get a group of guys that want to go stay in a house together to create content, purely for creating content, and all of a sudden there's a market in the YouTube game for South Africa. Hopefully, one day.
Yeah. I think it could benefit those people that want to do it.
Exactly.
Because there's a gap.
Exactly. And I think the more people start using YouTube, the better the competition will get. And that's when there'll be more focus and emphasis on YouTube.
And I mean, data costs are going down in South Africa, so it is getting easier.
Exactly. I see even with the gaming, streaming systems, it's getting a lot better.
You see, in South Africa, there's a lot of people that are streaming because, there's people that are watching it. So in the fitness industry, there's a gap in there as well.
Exactly.
It just needs to be professional grade.
And I mean, you've seen the market overseas. America, UK, Australia. It's literally everywhere except in South Africa.
No, they're massive. The majority, I think, if you take the average YouTuber with over 500,000 subscribers, it probably would be a fitness person.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, once people start wrapping their head around how much opportunity there actually is to start a business from scratch, at least online in the fitness industry, because if you don't have a big following on on Instagram, start a YouTube channel. Start putting out good content that people want to watch. It literally costs you nothing to do that. Besides obviously the equipment. But I mean, you've seen people shoot stuff from their phone.
Yeah, your phone is good enough.
So exactly. I mean, if you've got an iPhone, you can shoot in 4K as well.
Yeah.
So there shouldn't be an excuse, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that camera on you right now isn't even 4K, and I mean that's more expensive than iPhone.
Quality camera.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think people are just they're not open to change. And I think that's the biggest thing. They don't want to tell them that they want to kind of sugarcoat it and say, okay, I'm working hard enough. It's fine. Instead of saying, okay, what am I doing differently? What more can I do to stand out in the fitness industry? And I guess that's what you did very well at the beginning, especially. For those of you that don't know, Jesse was studying and making money. Like, not many people can do that. And you were 20, basically.
Yeah.
20 years old, making money and still studying, and you were. Like a lot of people at that stage were going out, drinking, having a good time. Not to say that you weren't living your life, but you knew when to prioritize and when not to, and when to work hard and when not to. And I think if you can learn that from a younger age, you'll develop a better kind of influence a lot earlier on, which is only going to help your business in the long run. Once you develop the foundation, I feel like you can then start doing a lot more things. But the hardest part is getting a foundation where people actually listen to what you have to say more than anything else. You can put out the greatest content, if no one is seeing it, at the end of the day, it's not going to help.
I saw literally before you came a Gary Vee post where he was like, it doesn't matter about the quality.
Yeah.
Obviously, it needs to be good and needs to have meaning, but I think what he means is like this audio. Maybe there's a little bit of a bird in the background. Maybe there's that air freshener that literally just went off. Maybe it's the fact that, there's too much reverb on these mics. I don't know. I don't even know what reverb means. I'm going to be honest. That's just the word from the editing software that's over here. But what I'm saying is, there's so many things that can stop people from doing something and be like, no, that's not going to be good enough. No, that's not going to be. I've had many people that have complained about, maybe a little bit of the audio quality on here, but I actually don't care. I'm not going to let that hold me back from producing content.
The biggest thing is that people just don't start because they feel like there's going to be this perfect moment where they wake up, everything's going to be on point.